Casey.
And I'm Maggie. And today we are just going to talk about some of our favorite books that we are completely obsessed with, and in a way, kind of all the lives we've lived. And I'm going to mention some of the books that actually got me reading, because before I was this huge reader, I used to think that reading was so stupid, and why do people read if they can just wait for the movie? Yes, I know, it disturbs me, that past self.
Took a long time to get her to read.
It's gone now. It's way gone. So we're going to talk about
book talk! May I begin?
Let's go.
Okay, so the first book I would like to show you is Beautiful Creatures. Now this is the movie cover, and if you've seen the movie and you thought it was horrible, do not judge the book based off the movie, because they changed so much that I was like full-blown panic attack while watching the movie because it was so different. Now if you like the kind of thing like Southern Gothic books, things like that, this has to do with like demons and ghosts and witches and all that cool stuff.
Full package.
Yeah. When I first got the book from the library, I was a little skeptical because I was never one for supernatural books. But this book, like, blew me away. It was so good, and I loved the characters. They were just hysterical, and while you read this book, you will be laughing your head off. So this is a book I highly recommend for anyone. And even if you're a guy, you may actually be surprised by how much you like this book. So don't base it off the cover or anything.
This is an obvious one.
The Hunger Games.
And if you don't know what this is, you've been living under a rock. This is the first book that got me reading. Casey told me this was amazing, and I watched the movie trailer, and she told me that I had to read the book because I was going to feel so lost when I saw the movie, and just wasn't that into it because I didn't read the book. So I read it in 3 days, I think.
Yeah, 3 days.
And I was just like, I couldn't shut up about it. I was just like nonstop, like in class and everything. I was just always talking about the Hunger Games and always thinking about the Hunger Games and dreaming about the Hunger Games. And then I read this one, and I definitely couldn't shut up. And then I read this one. So I don't have anything to say about that. Okay, so that is the first like book series that I like read. I know it's sad.
My next book is Tempest by Julie Cross, and it's like a time travel book, and I am like a sci-fi geek, so I love this book. It got me thinking. I liked it a lot. So this is a book I recommend for anyone who's kind of into that kind of stuff. It's really funny, and it has a really fast pace, a lot of really cool action scenes. So I recommend this book to any reader, really. It's really good. So time travel, that kind of stuff, sci-fi clones, it's really cool. I recommend it.
Okay, so the next book I had is the series that I read after the Hunger Games. And after I read the Hunger Games, I was very skeptical that there was anything out there that was better than the Hunger Games. And I didn't read for a while because I just thought, I'm never going to find a book that's better than this. I was wrong.
So wrong.
This was extremely good, but I was in denial afterwards, like, I don't believe this was better than the Hunger Games. But I still went on in the series. I don't know why. I just compared everything to the Hunger Games back then. And Seizure is the second one, which is really good. This is, before I get back into that, this is very sci-fi, and it's hilarious. It is hilarious. Like, some of the quotes that I use today are quotes from this book. It's hilarious. It's very sci-fi. It's murder mystery. It's just like a huge ton of stuff just packed into one book. And it's long, but it is so fast-paced, and I read it 2 days, I think. It's really good. And then I read Seizure, which is the second one. And Code just recently came out. I took the cover off because I had this weird obsession with hanging covers up on my wall. But it's a little shorter, but it was still really good. And I can't wait to read the fourth book.
Okay. The next book I have to show you is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. Now, when I first got this book, I did not know what to think of it. Because if you could see on the back, it's very brief on describing what the book is about. But it is the kind of book where you'll be laughing 1 second, then hiding under your covers the next. If there's anything I would call it really, I would say it would be like a psychological thriller, because it's the kind of thing that really gets you thinking. And the character Mara, she's funny, but at times she can freak you out. Because in a way it's her grappling with her insanity and her grip on reality. And it's a really good book. It's kind of murder mystery too, if you like that kind of thing. Very mysterious. So I recommend this book. It is very good.
So my next book series it's the Maximum Ride series. I got it all from the library except for this one, the third one, because there was a huge hold on it at the library for some reason. So I just bought it, and then the last one,
Nevermore.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you not to read the series just because of the last one.
It's just one book.
But if I were to give you any advice, if you don't want your heart to be broken, I would really just stop at the first 3.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you might want more closure, but it's better than being extremely let down in the other ones. Because the plot just twists a ton in the next ones.
Yeah.
And it's not as sci-fi as it was.
The first 3 are the best. And if you want to go ahead and read the next few books in the series, just don't read the last one. Because I know you're going to be really tempted to read it. But the ending...
And it doesn't even make sense. Like, there's so many things about it that just... I mean, I obviously know that... Okay, so just the book's about mutant bird children. Okay, that was a very bad description. These kids were legally experimented on, and they're going cross-country to discover their origins. They escaped from this place called the school where they were experimented on, and they are 2% bird. It's not stupid at all. I swear to you, it is the best.
Yes, the first 3 books are amazing. The 4th book, the 5th book, the 6th book, they're all kind of up there, but the 7th book, the last and final book, well, the 7th book was the last one, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. The 8th one, if you want to go ahead, just don't read it.
It doesn't make sense. It was just, yeah.
First 3 books, amazing, the next few books, the first one...
Yeah, that's the Maximum Ride series. I definitely give that a chance. I didn't mind the ones after the first 3, but
yeah, they were okay.
If you're
a diehard fan, I'd read them. But if you are really, really diehard, skip the last one because it will shatter your heart into a million pieces, and you will be thinking about it for a month, wondering to yourself, what went wrong? So,
James Patterson, you could have written that one better.
Nevermore. But the first 3 books. The first one is Maximum Ride, The Angel Experiment. There are quite a few, so that can kind of get confusing. But I definitely recommend you read the first 3 books.
Okay, enough of that.
Okay.
No.
And
the Mortal Instruments! Oh my god! Okay. Oh my god! Okay, so first, you shut up. Okay, so I didn't hear about this until, my cousin actually mentioned it to me. I'd been wanting to read it for a while, but I was kind of It didn't really... I mean, it explained it on the back, but it didn't interest me. Which was the... I don't...
Wrong.
So many of my life decisions just reflect so badly on me. Anyways, so then I looked at the movie trailer, and I was just like, okay, I'll give this a shot. Once I finished the book, I watched that trailer every day. Every day, because it made so much more sense. And then I saw Jason just... This book. Read this series. I don't know where you have been if you haven't read this series, but you need to read it. I am like obsessed. And then you read this one, and it's kind of like tying up this one. It's not as good as this one, but it's good. It's really good. And then you read this one, and you don't know what to do with your life, and you're just like, hey. And then you read this one, and you're skeptical because it's so much shorter, and you're afraid the author just wrote it to write it. But you couldn't have been more wrong because it was just art and it was amazing. And then... Shut up. You read... Sorry, like I said before, they're on the hardcovers. I take the covers and I hang them up on my wall. Sorry, that's not there. You read this one, and it's great, and then it gets kind of Sebastian moment-y. And then... You don't know what that means yet, but, you'll get to that if you haven't read it. And then you get to the ending, and you cry, and you don't know what to do with your life, and you think you're dying inside, and every single time somebody says or complains about something, you just think, shut up, did you read the ending to City of Lost Souls? Can't wait till the 6th book, if you haven't noticed. Read this series! You have not lived if you haven't read this series. And there's a little twist at the end of this one that makes you iffy, but if you're in denial, just look it up on the internet and it clears a lot of things up.
Yep.
That's what I did. Take it from
We
experience.
spoiled the next 3 books!
Take it from experience.
Yes.
So, read it. Sorry about that.
As you can see, she gets a little overexcited about the Mortal Instruments. Oh! I love it! I do. And this book, like, for the last month of school, all I ever heard was her and our friends talking about this book. And I have not read this book yet. And guess who spoiled everything about the book for me?
Jamarcus! Sorry.
Not Jamarcus. Maggie here! So, if you are the kind, I guess you could be classified as a fangirl who gets obsessed with fictional characters, I do not recommend reading this book along with your friends because you will spoil everything to each other. So
it's like a system in our school.
Yeah, it's a system in our school really to spoil series for us. Maxim Ride, Beautiful Creatures, Mortal Instruments, obviously. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. So, but I definitely recommend you read
It's almost
this
like murder! Where that came from?
Okay, so that's about all we have to show you guys today.
There's a lot of other books out there that I actually like more than some of the stuff I mentioned here, but I just don't.
But we don't own them.
We go to the library a lot.
Yes.
So, this is kind of just a start-off video so you can get to know us and what we're into. Obviously, the Mortal Instruments. So, if you have any recommendations for book reviews or parodies or certain scenes in books, you know what we've read, you know what to read, just subscribe and leave that in the comments and just tell us what you want. Because we want to make, like, a fan account just to, like, express our book nerdness. Because I am so tired of just, like, sitting in my house and thinking about stuff that I just wish I could say about books.
Share with the world. Share with the world awesomeness. No, we love our books. Well, so that's about all. We're going to stop.
If you're still listening to this, thank you.
Yes. Well, go to the library or go to the bookstore and read these books.
Bye! Bye! Thanks for watching!